Why is the chat on my head? Give me a second. Hey, oh, wake up, sheepies. It's time. Give me a second. Right here? There we go, there we go. I was adjusting the chat, so that's probably why it's on my head. Give me a second. Am I a little big? I can't tell. I can't tell if I'm bigger than usual, or if the... Because I played with the overlay a bit for some things earlier, but I think I accidentally borked it. Give me a second. I was trying to clean it up too. You know how like when you clean up your room or you clean up like an area, you start missing all the things or things are out of place because you started cleaning it up? It's like that. Because I'm at that point right now. Give me a second. Like this? Would this work? Wow, let me move you around. Maybe it's just me. Maybe my head's just too big. I think my head is a little too big. Give me a second. But how's everyone tonight on this wonderful Friday evening, my dudes? No, my head was the right size. My head was the right size. It wasn't my head that was wrong. It's the chat that's wrong. I don't know why you guys are slightly bigger than usual. Or higher than usual. Whatever. We'll go with it. This is not a professional stream. Speaking of professional stream, let me go put on the music. I thought this one was cute, this music that I found. Isn't it cute? It's perfect for these lazy drawing days. Everyone having a good Friday evening? One second, it's a little high for me though. Give me a second. Just adjusting audio for me. Shouldn't adjust audio for you guys. Okay, there we go. Does this work? I still have the I still have this boom sound effect on my thing. That very subtle boom. So how's the, what's it called? Great evening to watch a sheep draw? It's a very comfy evening. It's like really windy in my area actually. Back from Adland? But I played that ad like a couple minutes ago. Like 2 minutes ago. Give me a second. Let me get these things set up. Alright. So, as you can see, I am back to working on Offtask. For those who followed Offtask, you'll be like, gee, Alan, what happened to Offtask? Well, I was working on debut stuff. Got 4 in a row? Wow, I don't get paid for any of that then. Because I pressed the ad button manually at the start of every stream, so at least we could get 30 minutes of no pre-roll ads. But I don't like the idea of running ads in the middle of stream. I know like Twitch says to do that, and they say like, yeah, you can earn all this money if you put it on automatic. But yeah, I don't think I need the, I'm in it for the money. Give me a second, I'm adjusting my mic, so if you hear me banging on things, it would be nice to earn money, but I don't want to earn money at the expense of you guys being drowned in ads. Plus I heard like it's really annoying on the viewer side, so I don't watch Twitch as much as I used to. And I remember back then it wasn't as bad because like I don't remember pre-roll ads being a thing. But then again, I like had it in the background most of the time. But yeah, I'm working on an Offtask tonight. So I wanted to get this chapter actually done for April Fools because I have this, I guess, tradition of making an April Fools chapter every year. Like the year before last year, I made an April Fools chapter that the characters got isekai'd, and the year last year was like the April Fools joke was I was gonna finish the story, like the story is over. But yeah. I end up not making the deadline for this year, and I think you guys could tell because of the whole, what's it called? The 2D or the animated GIFs I've been making for the debut stuff. How are you guys enjoying the animated GIFs though? Do you guys like it? Do you like my sweat, blood, and poured into these pictures? Posture check. You know, I was actually listening to someone talk about that, like, you know, bad posture can lead to like internal blood clots. So I'm putting my legs down because apparently then the blood clots get stuck in your heart and then you get a heart attack. Ooh. That's scary. remember chat, you too have to move your... Whenever a posture check is checked, chat, be sure to check your posture as well to ensure that you don't get blood clots. Especially if you work an indoor or like office job. You gotta stand up every now and then to prevent those pesky blood clots from getting to your hearts. You know what I mean? Chat knows what I mean. There we go. I try to make sure I stay healthy too. Posture check is something you can buy with sheep cookies. It's been like that for a while. I'm trying to think of things to buy with it, but I just haven't got around to making the assets for it, like the head pats and stuff. Then again, I'm still weighing over the head pats thing being a good idea or not. Like, my biggest bother with the head pats thing is the fact that I can interrupt gameplay. And I kind of want to try to avoid doing that too often. So I'm still weighing on it. I don't want anything to be too disruptive. But I do know that's like a popular request. People like to head pat the sheep. Let's see. Let me set my colors to the correct one. How's the audio though? Can you hear me? Can you hear the... What's it called? Can you hear the music? Can you hear my voice? Can you hear the kids in the background? Somebody's laying their kids out in the front yard and they're screaming really loud. I wonder what a sheep in the hedgehog universe would look like. Well, you don't have to wonder for long because I might as well spoil it now. It's great. That's good to hear. I wish there was like an easier way for me to tell audio, but whenever I test audio, it'll be just coming through my headphones and I can't tell if it's too loud or too not. But if you're wondering what the sheep looks like in the Sonic the Hedgehog universe, boom! This Sunday stream. That one April Fool's game. Whoops, wrong one. It's Alan, the sheep hog wear thingy. It's like Sonic 2006, or was it Sonic 2006? I forgot which one. Which Sonic game was it? The one with the werehog? Alan with the new cut, yeah. Actually, I was like, back when I was younger, I used to be a really big Sonic fan. I think I mentioned this on stream before. Like a super big Sonic fan. Like, I would buy all the Sonic games on release. And this happened with Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog. And I won't lie, you wasn't expecting that flash art? Yeah, I was ready with that. I won't lie, when it comes to Shadow the Hedgehog, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty fun game. But I never got Sonic 2006 because when it came out at a time when I didn't have a 360. And I'm kind of glad it did because I didn't have a chance to play it and get ruined on the whole Sonic experience. But I did, after that, like, they had the whole trilogy on the Wii. I forgot what they're called. The Sonic Dash games, the ones where Sonic the Secret Ring, Sonic and Black Knight, and that other Sonic game I forgot what it's called, the original one, the first one that started it all. Like, those games, when I saw the gameplay footage, they didn't look good. And then, like, Sonic Unleashed looked pretty fun. I actually played the demo of Sonic Unleashed, and I actually had a lot of fun, but I didn't buy the game because it didn't feel like it was worth it. So I guess around like after 2006, the Sonic 2006 version, that's when I fell out of Sonic. Anybody in chat used to be Sonic fans too? Or still Sonic fans? I'm still a Sonic fan nowadays. Like, I like the idea of playing Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure 1. And Sonic Mania was pretty good. Sonic Forces crap. Cause you're probably an edgy sheepling. Played like 3 Sonics. Okay, so it wasn't because it was edgy. That's the thing. I didn't like Shadow the Hedgehog because it was edgy. I liked it because the platforming was pretty fun. But the thing was with it, it just suffered the same problem that I thought Sonic Heroes suffered. It suffered from the issue that enemies had HP bars. You like the racing Sonic games? Like Sonic R? Like, I think platforming games, unless you have some really good combat style or combat method, like Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter, I don't think enemies should have an HP bar. hot take. Like, part of the thing with old Sonic games that made it fun was just jumping on an enemy and they pop like a balloon, you know? But then you give it a HP bar, and then you find yourself jumping on the same enemy over and over. In fact, I know like in Sonic Heroes, like I have the most fun just running past the enemies. Like Mario, yeah, same with Mario. And I think that's what Mario Odyssey did pretty well, as well as Mario Galaxy. Like, they made it so enemies don't have HP bars. They have different ways of defeating them. For example, like a Shell Goomba, you had to spin them around so they get knocked over, then you jump on them, right? Then you have like Spiky Goombas, right? Where you actually have to use a power-up to defeat it, right? It was different means of defeating them, and it's like, you know, really simple, but it doesn't stop your flow. And I think that's what happens with Sonic games and HP bars, because Sonic's about going fast, right? We all know that. But if you're stuck with an enemy that's blocking your path and you have to kill it, you'll be bouncing off that same enemy until its HP bar is down. And it makes sense if it's like 3 hits. Okay, 3 hits is not fine, or not so bad. But then, like, some enemies in Sonic Heroes had 50 HP, and the most your damage does was like 3 or 4. Sonic too fast to be worried about combat? Yeah. Granted, I think I haven't played the new Sonic game. I forgot what it's called, Sonic Frontiers. But I think it did combat a little bit better. Because, like I said, I think the solution was to have a better combat style. Because from Sonic Heroes and Sonic Heroes, like, I felt like I was either mashing the attack button or mashing the jump button, right? And it's like the easiest way to take care of enemies was just to switch to Tails level 3 and beat everyone up that way, right? But Sonic Frontier looked pretty fun, where it actually implemented like a combo style kind of thing. I didn't mind Shadow the Hedgehog's combat too much because it was gun, right? So you didn't really have to, like, you still had the situation of, oh, the enemy has like 100 HP, but you have gun. So you didn't have to go like bouncing off the enemy. You could have like machine gun and it chews through enemies, or oh, shotgun, hits heavily, knock them down kind of thing, right? So it wasn't so bad in Shadow the Hedgehog as it was in Sonic Heroes. And I forgot what Sonic 2006 did. I did play Sonic 2006 eventually, and let me tell you, that game was bad. It had potential though, I won't lie. The fact that it had like some interesting sections, and basically you can, like, each of the characters have their own sections, I thought that was a pretty fun way to implement it. Rather than having like a whole game dedicated to like the characters. Like, the main characters are 3 characters, Sonic, Shadow, and Silver, but then you have like side characters in those, like Blaze, Knuckles, Tails, and so on, right? I thought that was a good way to implement the extra characters. I get Shadow the Hedgehog game and Square Enix Vincent Valentine game mixed up all the time. Is it that, like, that one meme where it's the what's it called? Executives ask you to tell the difference between these 2 pictures, and they say like there is none. I haven't played that game though. You know what's funny? I love Final Fantasy games, and I played every game from 1 through 6, but I haven't touched 7. I haven't played 8. I haven't played 9, but I have played 10. A little bit of 11. Haven't played 12, but I have played 14. Not 13. 13's like, I don't know where to start with 13. Because they're both red with guns, but one's a hedgehog. There could have been a part of my life. If Sonic did better, I could have been like a Sonic fan. I could have been like super deep into the Sonic fandom. I could have been Alan the Weresheep. Same edgy vibe. I get ya. Maybe I should do like a Weresheep thing for Halloween. Halloweeny. Ugh. Man. I think I need to get like a taller chair. It hurts my back to lean like this. Have you guys ever seen a franchise that you enjoy just, you know, went down the crapper? Posture check? You guys keep doing the posture check. I'm checking my posture. I'm sitting up. In fact, maybe I need to adjust my tablet. You used it. Yeah, good job. I'm proud of you, Kelpai. I remember there's like a lot of old franchises that I used to enjoy that are gonzo. Like Bomberman. I don't know how many people enjoyed Bomberman, especially like the older Bomberman games. Not like the one that was on the NES, the multiplayer game one. I'm talking about like Bomberman Hero, Bomberman 64, Bomberman Tournament for the Game Boy Advance. Bomberman used to be like a franchise that experimented with the game type. I used to be like a Bomberman fan too. I bought Bomberman like 64. No, I rented Bomberman 64. Kid Icarus. That is such a waste of potential. Oh, that hurts so much now that you say it. I love the 3DS game. I loved it so much I went back to play the original NES game on my 3DS. There was so much charm in that 3DS game. I love that thing. I'm just sad they never made a sequel or a remake. Black Pit, my beloved. What did they do to you? Hades, my beloved. Where are you? I want you to rip through the credits. I'm still waiting for the day. Like in a Nintendo Direct, Hades will be like, oh, I guess it's my time to shine. And then he rips the Nintendo Direct in half and he announces that he's in Smash, or he announces that new Kid Icarus game for the Switch. Like the thing is, like, it was a really good formula on the 3DS. The multiplayer game was really fun and unique too. The idea of like being angels and like having all your weapons and everyone has a different weapon choice. I know like there's a meta and everything, but it was kind of fun just, you know, like that kind of shooting gameplay from behind the back. Oh, it hurts. Every Nintendo Direct, I just wish Hades will come back one way or another. Maybe eat the stream, I don't know. We'll fight his heart. I wonder why they haven't done, like, okay, I'm under this like impression that companies have their safety games where it's like if they release the game, they know it's gonna sell. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a reason why they didn't announce, like, I don't know, MMO Pokemon, because they're saying like, oh, if we need money right now, bam, Pokemon MMO or something. I don't know. I'm like under that impression that's the case. Because I think Kid Icarus is one of those games, like, it didn't do poorly either. It did pretty well, if I remember correctly. It was like one of the first earliest 3DS games, and it got like pretty good reviews, considering it had like the on-rail shooter combined with the, what's it called? Combined with its action play. It even had like the best difficulty thing where you could turn up the difficulty and like it changes like the levels in certain ways and you unlock certain things. Like, I love it when games do that fun difficulty thing where like the difficulty isn't just because it's harder and the enemies hit harder. It's because like, oh, there's more enemies in this area, or oh, you have access to this new area, or oh, you can go to this new chest. Slap Super Mario makes money. Yeah. I don't know how I feel. Okay, so I don't know if this is just me, but is it just me or the development cycle for video games increased by a lot? Like, it feels like it's like some of these big name games are taking longer and longer to come out. And we don't have as much spin-offs or small games on the side. Like, it used to be like a bunch of new Super Mario Brothers games, but we haven't had a Mario game since, well, I mean like platforming Mario game since Mario Odyssey. You know what I mean? You think companies are patient? I don't know if it's them patient or not, but I do think it's like, I do think there's something going on that we don't know. Because I kind of want to play a Mario game, but like the last one has been just Mario Odyssey. I can't really think of another platforming Mario game that has came out in the recent years. I mean, Kirby had its re-release of Return to Dreamland, but what about Mario? Super Mario himself. I get he had a movie recently. Did anyone see the movie? Did anyone bing bing wahoo in the movie theater? Did you guys bring your Mario hats? Man, if I had a Mario hat, I would go to the movie theater watch it, or watch with it. I haven't seen Mario movie though, so no spoilers. DLC for... Oh yeah, that's right, that one came out, didn't it? I guess that one was under my radar for sure. But that was like a year ago? Or was it 2 years ago? I don't know. Feels like it's been a while. Just give me a Mario game. Give me a nice juicy Mario game to chew on. I wanna bing. I wanna wahoo. I wanna go, it's a me, Alino. I wonder, speaking of which, now that I think about it, didn't they release a mobile game? I was gonna say, like, why don't they have a more mobile Mario game? But then I just remembered Super Mario Run was a thing. What happened to Super Mario Run? Are they still updating it or adding things to it? I'm curious about this actually. Let me look this up. Super Mario Run. You would think that they would do something with it considering the movie just came out. Man, I hate Google Chrome. Anything? Anything new? No updates? Nothing? Why is Super Mario... Oh, I thought it said Super Mario Run. Why is it expensive? Mobile apps will not be the primary path of Mario games. I mean, they haven't made a Mario mobile game in such a long time. Oh wait, what's this? This was 3 days ago. Let me read this article, chat. Nintendo won't be making any more Super Mario games for the iPhone. Well, there goes my answer. Guess they're not doing anything with Super Mario Run then. Super Mario Run was fun. And I like the whole, like, if I remember correctly, didn't it have a versus mode? Oh man, yeah. Kind of remind me of that one Sonic game. The one that was actually fun looking. Like, I know they have like the Sonic Run one where it's behind the back and then like your camera's chasing after Sonic as you're running forward and then like you're racing other people. You guys know what I'm talking about? I forgot what that Sonic game was called. Sonic Run? Sonic Rush? Sonic Dash? Sonic goes over there and makes a new mobile game? Sonic Mobile? What was it called? Sonic Mobile. Is that game still existing? Because I know they added, like, what's it called? The Sonic movie character. Sonic Drive-In? No. Sonic Wireless? No. Sonic Dash. I think that's it. Sonic Runner? What happened to Sonic Dash? Yeah, Sonic Dash is still a thing. They used to have a different Sonic game, which I thought was so much better than Sonic Dash. They had, I don't know if you guys remember this, and probably not because it was released only in Canada. But it was like a side-scrolling Sonic running game. And it was pretty good because you got like, I know like the gacha was a whole thing and everything, but you can unlock characters and you can play as different characters in this dashing thing. And it was like Mario Run or Super Mario Dash. What was Mario's game again? Mario Run? I forgot what it's called. Mario Mobile. It was like Mario Mobile, except with Sonic characters. But this is released before the Mario Mobile game came out. Honestly, I think Sonic does really well in 2D. It's just more charming to look at. And I don't mean like new Sonic 3D. I'm talking about like old Sonic 2D. Dun 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 dun. Where's our new Sonic game that's not Sonic Frontier? Didn't they just release Sonic Frontier DLC though, actually? Oh, I still gotta play that. I want to play it on stream. I like Sonic best when it was in 2D. Yeah, I feel that way too. I know they said that they're gonna release Sonic Origins and they're gonna add what was it called? They're gonna add Amy? That's right. They're gonna add Amy to the Sonic Origins, so you could play Sonic 1, 2, and 3 with Amy Rose. And I'm kind of curious, why didn't they add CD? Did they add CD to that? I don't remember if they added CD to that, because if you can, then that means Amy Rose in Sonic CD, which means Amy Rose will come across Amy Rose, saving Amy Rose. Did Sonic Origins have CD? I don't remember, actually. Yeah, it did, because it has Metal Sonic on the cover. Yeah. But they said that they're also releasing all the Game Gear games, which colored me surprised. Granted, a lot of Game Gear games weren't that good. I remember having a Game Gear myself when I was younger, And I remember playing the Sonic one, and for some reason, I don't have any vivid memory of beating anything past the first level. I remember the first boss in the Sonic Game Gear game 2. It was Sonic 2. Like, the boss looked like this. It was like the most difficult game, or at least the most difficult Sonic boss I remember fighting. Basically, it looked like this. You had the boss, here's Eggman, he's like in a chomper, right? And he's like chomp, 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 right? And then like, here's Sonic, right? What you're supposed to do, you can't jump on this. If you jump on it, you get hurt, right? Because he's chomping. He shoots bombs or balls or whatever, and you just have to dodge the ball and let it hit him. And it was like the most annoying thing to do on the Game Gear. And I remember like, I only beaten it like a couple of times, but I don't remember ever going beyond that. I can't wait to see that in Sonic Origins. I can't wait to relive the trauma. Sonic trauma. Boop. Let's see. I just remembered. I made some complicated rail design here, which means I had to make the complicated rail design again. Ooh, I made a terrible mistake. Oh, speaking of oohs, any Hololive fans? Did you guys get your concert tickets? I think Aine's a little too big for that shot, if the rails are that small. I kinda want to get the online ticket. It'll help you grow as an artist. No. I don't need growing as an artist right now. Kinda wanted to go to that concert, especially since Los Angeles isn't too far away. It's within a drive. I kind of want to be able to go to a Hololive concert. But those tickets sold out really fast. But it's fine. I probably wasn't going to get it. I can't even go to a Mario movie, much less a Hololive concert. I don't remember. Did I have this wood tile like this? Oh, I don't remember. It's been a while. Let me see. Let me go pull up the reference shot. Did anyone buy themselves a Hololive ticket? I wonder if Swordy bought one. He went to the other one, and I'm envious of that person. Let me see. Where did my reference shot go? Oh yeah, that's right, it's on my storage drive. Let's see. There it is. How's Alan doing today? I'm doing well. How are you doing today, Package? Speaking of Package, actually, I went back to watch the Lobotomy Corporation stream just to see how it looked. Two things. I realized the audio was... Wait a second. Why is Aine so much smaller? Or Remy so much smaller? Oh, I see. It was because of the cut. I realized the audio was incredibly loud. I didn't realize the music was actually loud when I was streaming it last time. And the other thing is, Package, you saved my butt. I was looking back at the footage just to see, like, think about highlights and stuff like that. But if you didn't give me those train warnings all the times that you did, I probably wouldn't have made it to the end of that fight. So we made it through because of you, Package. Give yourself a package on the back. Heh. But I have a plan for what I'm doing tomorrow. Like I was thinking about last week, and if I had a stronger weapon, I might have been able to dealt with the Queen of Hatred, right? I was just thinking about that, and I got 3 Aleph. I got the one that had the tongue out, and I had the one with the mouth, and I have Slime Girl, right? And I was just thinking, what if I got their weapons next stream? I got their weapons and armor. That way, in case there's another breakout, I can actually suppress the Dragon Girl. You know what I mean? I was thinking about it. So tomorrow's stream, I'm gonna focus on trying to get those boxes for them. I already have an approach for Slime Girl. I don't know how to do the mouth thingy or the what's it called, that tongue thingy, right? But I know how to approach the Slime Girl. So my first plan is to kill off all the clerks. My second plan is to alternate the main room. So when Alan's working, everybody's all the employees are allowed back in the main room. When Alan's not working, all employees will go into the elevator since it is just right there. Yeah, so I'm planning to get their equipment. That's my big plan for tomorrow. Because I want to make sure that when I do the other characters' stuff, we don't have an issue like the Dragon Girl. Oh, the magical Dragon Girl. Oh. Oh. Same with the King Greed. I don't know if the King Greed is easy to take out. We'll see. But that's my plan. That's my plan. So I'm gonna lower the amount of work that everybody else does, and I'm gonna higher the amount of work that the Aleph team does, and I'm gonna make sure that I don't break bank. So if their benefits get too far in the negatives, then I'm gonna go get into a meltdown. First part of killing. I want to try to do another core suppression though. I don't know if there's any point in me doing all the core suppressions beyond the endings, because I don't know if I'll even get that ending. But I do want to try to defeat these cores. These cores are interesting. More story after all. More story for the pickin'. I'm kind of curious where it's gonna go. I mean, we found out that we're getting energy from people dying, and we got people the machines going crazy and turning back to machines. We'll need to use the memory repository if you want to do all the suppressions. I'll have to see what that entails, honestly. I don't know how it's gonna look on day 50 since I never actually reached day 50, but I want to see if it's a little bit easier to get the other endings because of memory repository or something like that. Then I'll do it. But if not, then I think whatever ending we get from day 50 we'll get, you know? But I do want to try to beat that game. It's just I don't know if I want to do another loop. I'll think about it though, I'll think about it. Maybe I'll just watch the ending on YouTube. You can't reach day 50 without doing them all? Alright, we'll see. I'll do my best to get them all then. But I don't know if I want to do another loop. This is my best run. And I think it's because for some weird reason, I didn't get Alephs until much later. So it gave me a lot of time to build up a lot of employees, right? I remember I got the Alephs at day 20. And I didn't really have the tools to deal with it. But now I'm getting the Alephs at a pretty good time. I just gotta make sure I don't let my tools die. I just hope someday you'll see all the different egos. I'll take a look at it on YouTube. I kind of want to try to do 100%, but I also want to start playing some other games too. There's some other games I wanted to play on the stream. You won't need to reset from day 1 unless you want the true ending. Okay, we'll see. As long as I'm en route for an ending, then that's fine. Oh gosh, I'm kind of scared though. You guys said that one I did was the hardest one, right? So everything else should be easier, right? Right? I mean, that one that Hod's had was what? Just stats down? That's not so bad. I can handle that, right? I just don't have to deal with the higher threats. And if I do have to deal with the higher threats, I should make sure that, they're ready. Hod is the hardest one? Uh-oh. That's the one I was planning to do next. Okay, I'm doing Hod last. Dun 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 dun. I want to get as much Aleph gear. You have high-level employees, so it shouldn't be an issue. The thing is, we keep losing high-level employees to dumb things. Like, we lost Cannon Fodder, who was a level 5, and we lost Best Chat. I'm scared. I'm scared because that's 2 level 5s down the drain. That was Cannon Fodder, and what's it called? And Best Chat. Mr. JPEG fried my PC, so that was unironically the hardest. Mr. JPEG? Mr. JPEG. Mr. JPEG. Bring me a dream. Bam, 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 bam. You know what game I kind of want to play again? Splatoon. It's been a while since I played Splatoon, and it didn't help that like a lot of games came out around that time. But I want to come back to it, play the story mode, and play some multiplayer. Especially since I heard like the Salmon Run had a really cool mode where they took over the city. I'm kind of sad that I didn't have a chance to do that. Splatoon 4 when? I never played Splatoon, but it seemed like something I might like. It's actually really fun. And here's the thing too, like, I know a lot of people don't like motion controls, but motion controls in Splatoon is incredibly tight. Like, it's super duper handy because it makes it a lot easier to aim vertically. I don't know about horizontally, but vertically it makes it so much easier, and it makes it really easy to kind of make small adjustments on your aim. Because like the one thing I always had a problem with stick shooting was the fact that like you try to turn and you overshoot because your camera stick controls, you know? Like with mouse you don't have that problem too much. But with like a controller shooting, you have that problem a lot. But I think the gyroscope really helped alleviate that. Like if you can learn how to do a gyroscope on Splatoon, you'll already feel powerful. But it does take a lot of adjusting. In fact, it's been so long since I played that chances are I have to readjust again. I got in really good with it too again. Oh, I want to play Splatoon. Ooh, I want to go be a kid again. I want to be a squid. I'm a kid now. I'm a squid now. I'm a kid. I'm a squid. I'm a kid. I'm a kid. So when is my Splatoon mobile game coming out, chat? When am I getting Splatoon Run, where you're being chased by a roller? You can't be a squid, you're a sheep. Watch this. I want you to witness my upgrade. Witness my power. Boom. What did I just grab? Oh, I don't need that anymore. See that? Okay, I bet you're wondering. That's not very squid-like of you, Squidward. But no. Take this. There we go. A squid on a sheep? No. Ika Musume. We should play the Ika Musume opening now. How do you like that, chat? Do you like my squid hat? Do you like my newfound power? I'm gonna squirt ink at you. Have you guys had calamari? Really good. Even as a squid, I'm cannibalizing my own. Calamari is really good though. Like, I realized that there's this seafood restaurant in my area. It's like a Red Lobster, but it's like a local thing. It's really good. I love their fried oysters. Like, I never had oysters fried. I had it like baked as oyster rockefeller, and I had oysters raw, but I never had it fried. But oh my gosh, it was so good, fried oysters, especially when you give it a squeeze of lemon. Like, for those who eat fried food, or like to try something different with their fried food, try squeezing like a lemon on it. I learned it from a video game. I learned it from Atrian Odyssey Untold 1. And they had like a scene where the characters like ate fried food with lemon. And I wanted to try it. And it was actually much better than I thought it was going to taste. Like the simple flavor of the lemon combined with the the oils and the fat and the fried food just mix so well together. Like, don't dip in tempura, don't dip it with ketchup or whatever you guys dip it with. Try it with a squeeze of lemon. Take that lemon and squeeze the life out of it. I'm hungry now. Maybe I should make tempura. I wonder what tempura what though. I'll have to check the fridge for what kind of ingredients we have. Ugh. I keep adjusting my seat. I think my butt's sore. I've been like drawing intensely for the last few days, and I think you guys could tell because of the fact that I got all the animated GIFs that I've been posting on Twitter. Have you guys seen those GIFs? Have you guys enjoyed the movement? Have you guys smiled, laugh, slap your face, chomp on some cookies? There we go. It's almost debut day. It's been like a week. Hopefully the debut will go well. I'm a bit worried about the turnout, but I don't think there's any control I have over that. I think the only thing I can control right now is how well I do it. I'm a little nervous about that too, like forgetting what to say. I'm gonna have to make sure to practice it. It's like doing a speech in speech class for those who've been in college. Should be interesting, yeah. Especially with the live 2D model. Like, I've been practicing it off stream, and I've been figuring out some camera positions for it. But I'm kind of nervous that it's not gonna capture me as well as I think it does. I've been practicing it off stream, but I'm worried about it when I'm doing actions. Like, a lot of it has been practiced with just chatting. So, what's it called? It looks pretty well in just chatting, but I'm worried about how it's gonna look when I'm gaming and stream or in drawing. So we'll see. I've made some recordings of it. I'll do my best though, chat. I'm gonna do my best. Speaking of doing my best, does anyone here know any YouTube editors? I was thinking about it and I was listening to some videos and I realized a lot of people who post on YouTube actually has an editor. Whether it's big YouTubers like Mr. Beast and like other people like Markiplier, or smaller YouTubers or VTubers. I'm realizing a lot of people have editors to kind of assist with the video making. And I was just thinking about that too. Like, maybe it's time for me to hire an editor. Someone to make the videos for me. Because right now as it is, I've been making the videos myself. But I think it'll be really handy if I had another person to kind of, make videos for me. I kind of wish that there was just more of me. My friend does too. Because, like, you know, she says how, like, more Allens means more work getting done. So I wish I had like a handful of Allens to put to work. It'll be like the Allen Brigade. Sadly, that's not gonna be. So I had to find an editor. I was looking on Fiverr and stuff for it, but I want to find someone that's like a long-term business partner. Is that the word for it? I mean, like somebody to work with, I guess. Simply clone yourself. I mean, aren't they doing like, what's it called? Cloning technology with sheeps these days? I just had to get an injection, which is a big no-no. I don't like injections. They could kill me first before they inject me with something. When are we gonna have the technology to clone myself? Maybe I don't even need to clone myself. Have you guys heard that saying that, like, out of all the people in the world, chances are there's somebody that's exactly just like you in both looks and personality? Have you played a Dark Souls game? I played a lot. I played 1. I beat in 1. Actually, funny story with 1. I'll come back to that one. I played the first part of 2, I beaten 3, but I haven't beaten the DLC. And yeah, I want to get Bloodborne, or I have Bloodborne, and I want to get Elden Ring. Maybe I'll do a Bloodborne stream, we'll see. That might be interesting. But funny story with 1, I made it all the way to the final boss, but I just lost interest and didn't beat the final boss. And it wasn't because like I fought him and it was too hard. I didn't even go in there. Like I stopped at the fog gate outside and I never went inside. It's kind of funny in the hee hee ha ha funny way. But I did beat Dark Souls 3. And the thing with Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 1, I like to play the game in a sense where I play solo. So I try not to summon for my first time fighting a boss. And I try not to get summoned when I fight the boss. But I do, what's it called? I do, after I beat the boss, I do go into other people's games and help them with the boss. So like that's my way of getting souls afterwards. The only summons I do, at least what I did in the first game, was summons that I pull NPCs in. But I haven't actually summoned other players. I love those games though. Dark Souls is fun. Isn't it called like Black Souls in Japanese too? Black Souls 2. Hehe. Has anyone here played Black Souls or Dark Souls games? Did you guys enjoy the Dark Souls experience? I was trying to play this like Dark Souls-esque kind of game called Fear and Hunger, but I won't lie, the fear is getting to me. Like, it's supposed to be like a difficult turn-based RPG that's focused on limb cutting, and it's really fun, but I'm really scared of the atmosphere, and it always like terrifies me to play. Like, I try playing it, but then like I can't get far without being too scared. I finished one? What kind of game is that? Fear and Hunger or Dark Souls? Dark Souls is like an action RPG, but it's an action RPG in the sense that you have to plan everything accordingly, because you can't like just go and hacking and slashing, or else you're gonna just be asking to die. There we go. I remember too, in Dark Souls 3, I fought the Dragon King, and I had to teach myself how to solo it. The Dragon King was interesting because like, he was hard, like really, really hard, but I ended up learning his like fighting moves, if that makes sense. I learned his pattern. And it was like one of my proudest things I ever done in Dark Souls 3. Oh, and just another thing too, I like to play melee. I tend not to use magic. I'm no pleb. I'm melee only run. Watch me stab things. It's just like my Monster Hunter runs. Whenever I play Monster Hunter, I always play with just melee only. I do make a secondary character for bowguns only, but usually my primary character is a melee only character. There's something fun about being in the face. Big sword go boom. I'm guessing you're a great sword in Monster Hunter. I tend to go, okay, so it depends. My choice of weapon depends on the case. Personally, I feel incredibly safe with the sword and shield. So whenever I go into a fight and I never fought the monster before, I go in there with a sword and shield. And after I learn what the monster's patterns are, I go back with a different weapon. But usually the weapons I tend to lean towards is sword and shield and lance. Lance is so much fun. There's something fun about poking the enemy and countering and just keep on poking. Okie dokie, pokey pokey. You know what I mean? And I like the feeling of having a shield. And I like the feeling that like I could use my shield to protect my allies. Like if somebody's about to get hit by a fireball, I can dash in with my shield. Like just like hold R, dash in with the triangle. And then like boom. I blocked that attack with my advancing dash. I'm what they call a hero, chat. Believe in me, my lance. You have my lance, chat. For my Monster Hunter junkies, what weapon do you guys like to use? I still gotta play Monster Hunter Sunbreak. I think that's the thing with games. Like, I do like DLC, but at the same time, by the time the DLC comes out, I already beat the game and played it to death. So I always forget about the DLC. That happened with Dark Souls 3. That happened with Monster Hunter Rise. It feels like whenever I get to the point where like I've beaten the game and completed it, the DLC is already like months, years ahead, and I will never get a chance to play it. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just me. I kind of want to go back and do that. I think the same thing happened with Monster Hunter Ultimate. Because by the time I got through Monster Hunter, like, I forgot which one it was, 4? Monster Hunter Ultimate was announced and released. Like, I play it to burnout, I guess. That's no good. Don't burn yourself out, chat. Play responsibly. Do-do-do-do-do. Well, speaking of responsibly and like playing responsibly, I had this fun idea. So you guys know I have a whole bunch of emotes already, right? So I have like sheep, Alan heh, Alan panic, Alan die, Alan knife, Alan eat, sheep question mark, right? I was thinking about like cycling some emotes, but I was thinking about how to do it. At first I was thinking about doing a poll, but I realized maybe I don't have the audience level for a poll just yet. So I had a fun idea of doing like a battle royale kind of thing where I pick characters based on the emote, and then I go into Smash Brothers and let them duke it out, level 9 NPCs. Just as a way to cycle emotes in and out. I thought that'd be a pretty fun idea. Then we could make bets too. It'll be like Salty Bets. Does Salty Bets still stream? Oh, I'm kind of curious about that. Or did Salty Bets stop? Salty Bets was so much fun. Have you guys heard of Salty Bets? Let me see, are they still streaming? Yeah, they're still streaming. Me Battle Royale sounds fun, like a genre. It would be. It would be great. But it's not like a Battle Royale, it's more like a tournament. Maybe you could have like 8 at once. Or maybe we should have like multiple characters represent them, and then it'll be a score system. We'll see. You know those websites that have the Hunger Game simulations? Where can you insert whatever characters? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen those before. I've seen people like toss in Smash Brothers characters. But yeah, for those who don't know what Salty Bet is really fun. It's a Twitch channel where they have Mugen. And Mugen is this PC game where you can make your own characters. Not like make your own characters like Soul Calibur, but you can actually make, well, if you're smart enough with programming, you can actually make your characters have its own moveset, have its own systems, and it interacts with other characters. So you could have like Mortal Kombat characters with their whole moveset fighting against, I don't know, Mario, right? Sonic. Maybe you could have it fight against Tekken characters, and they do this for fatality and all that stuff too, you know? It's actually really, really fun. So what Salty Bet does, they take a bunch of pre-made characters that are made by other people, and they basically randomly put them into fights. And with Salty Bets, you're able to bet on who do you think the winner will be. Granted, you're not betting real money. They are betting salt. But it's really fun in the sense that because you're not betting real money, but you can bet your salt on who you think is gonna win, but then like you realize, oh no, that character is overpowered. It's really dumb. Like I remember like there was one character people thought was gonna lose. I forgot which character it was, but then like suddenly they win in the last second. And I remember there's like overpowered characters in there too, like the F1 keys. And sometimes you don't realize that like some characters can break those things. It's really neat. Like if you guys want something fun to listen to, and something if you like gambling but you don't want to bet money, I would highly recommend Salty Bets. I don't advocate for gambling, chat, just to let you guys know. For all my viewers that are less than 18 years old, please do not gamble. This message was brought to you by the Anti-Gambling Facility of Nevada. There we go. And I used to see those ads a lot. The anti-gambling thing in Nevada. I remember whenever my parents went to the casino and I watched the TV, there would be like an ad talking about the anti-gambling. Or not anti-gambling, but like something about that. It was like some sort of party in Nevada for that. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, what was it called? Was it called Tokyo Grand Prix? Do you guys remember Tokyo Grand Prix? I think that's what it's called. It was the horse racing one. Let me take a look really quick. Tokyo Grand Prix! Sorta, where is it? I don't think that was it. Horse game. I don't know if you guys... Oh, I don't remember what this thing was called, but it was like basically like a horse racing game, and you make your bets, right? But the thing is, it's not what you expect it to be. It starts off with like horses, but then it always devolves into something stupid. Do you know what I mean? It would have like the horses like suddenly standing up on two legs and doing a little dance while they run, or the horse turns into a motorcycle and the guy drives his way through, and every single like finish line thing would always end with something like, I don't know, like something you wouldn't expect. And then like the best parts are when the ones inside the horse outfits win. I love that so much. Oh, the giraffe, yeah. The one with the bear. I remember, like, there was a Twitch stream with it, and I remember they were doing like pseudo gambling where they were having like people bet imaginary money on it. Oh my gosh. I wonder if that thing still exists. That was so good. That sounds familiar. It's really dumb and fun. I think I remember showing it to you, Kelpie. If I remember, I think I showed it to you back in college. Back in our college years. Back when we were wee little lambs. In college. Oh. What was that? Phone message. They have such great names for horses. They did. I remember, I forgot which one it was, but there was like, I forgot which season it was, but they had both the 2-man horse outfit and the 3-man horse outfit. The most unusual combination, combined forces together. And I remember whenever I saw it on stream with somebody, other people, whenever the horse outfit guy actually makes the first turn and doesn't collapse and die, everybody would be like, oh, this is the run, this is it. Oh, I missed those days. Oh, I'm so old, chat. This is where I expire. Go to bed, Grandpa. Your horse races were 10 years ago. Don't say that, chat. Don't say it like that. They weren't 10 years ago. You were 10 years ago. I wonder if that thing's like, I remember, what's it called? I remember you could download the game itself and play it too. So you can actually have your own horse bets and stuff. I wonder where that thing is. I would like to give that a try. Maybe we should try it on stream. I think it was on a website too, but I wonder if the website went down, considering it's been many, many years since that started. Let's see. Japan Grand Prix Crazy Horse Game. Oh, it's called Japan World Cup. That's what it was. Let's see. Game. Let me see if I can find this thing, but I probably can't. Oh, it's a DVD? Oh, this is interesting. It's a DVD that would randomize pre-made scenes based on Let me see. But you can bet on horses and watch races. Oh, here we go. Is this the website? I think this is the website. Yeah. They added a browser component, but I think it's more fun to have a bunch of people shouting at a TV. Freeware, interesting. Let me see if I can find that DVD. I'm gonna track it down, and I wonder if I could play it on stream. Do you think that's copyrighted? Do you think I could get away with it? Do you think we could get away with horse racing gambling on Twitch? Not real gambling. I must repeat this. This is not real gambling. We're not betting real money. We'll bet like sheep coins or something. I don't know. Isn't there like Twitch channels that have that where you can bet like in chat currency? I'm pretty sure there is, right? I wouldn't be the first, right? I'm trying to justify this, chat. I'm trying to make sure that if I get banned, I can justify it. But if I do get banned, maybe it's just meant to be. Maybe this world was not ready for Alan Lalafell. It'll be ready for Alan B. LaFell. Or no. It should be Balin. Balin Lalafell. And then if Balin falls, we'll get his secondary brother, Callan Lalafell. Then after that, we'll get Dallin Lalafell. Then Ellen Lalafell. The Lalafell family will not take this standing down. We have guns. We will practice our American rights. No, this is not a threat. This is just a joke. Just to make sure anybody is listening, this is just a joke. I'm making a Lalafell joke, not a gun joke. I guess this is where it ends, chat. This is goodbye. This is where I get banned. You know, I always worry about that. Like a random Twitch moderator, Twitch owner, coming right in and seeing the stream and see me talk about guns, and they'll be like, "Oh, he sounds like he's threatening," and then like, boom, I'm Banzo. Balin is peeking around the corner already. I hope you enjoyed Balin's debut. In fact, I'll make sure that Balin will be just an Alan, but with red hair. He'll be player 2. I miss that old Toho meme. You have like Reimu, player 1, then you have Reimu Blue, which is player 2. And then people would joke about Sanae being player 2 since she's green. And Reimu's blue or green or red. Oh my gosh, my brain's farting. Killpie's getting ready to take over. Over my dead body. If I go down, I'm taking Killpie with me. We'll have to make another Killpie. We'll call it Delpie. If I go down, I'll take it down with me. It's just like the old saying, like a friend would bail you out of jail. A true friend would be in jail with you, sitting down and like saying, "That boy, were we stupid?" BRB? Okay. Correct. Speaking of stupid things, do you guys see that one anime movie that's coming out? The one about the guy that got turned into a chair? Have you guys heard that movie? I forgot what it's called. But it's coming out soon. People are ready for the Mario movie. I'm ready for chair anime, man. Let me see, what was it called? Anime about guy turning into chair. Here we go, here we go. Suzume no Tojimari. If I remember correctly, this is by the same person that did Your Name. So the thing is, it may sound stupid, but considering how enjoyable Your Name was and the other works he did, like 30 or 5 centimeters per second, and the other the one with the teacher, I kind of like his work. So I'm kind of interested in this chair turning anime man. I mean, it can't be like that one manga or that one visual novel. Have you guys heard that one visual novel? I was reincarnated into another world as a vending machine. Not how I remembered it, but okay. There was the, what's it called? I remember seeing this in Anime Expo, and I was really tempted to buy the book. There was like a light novel called I Was Reincarnated into Another World as a Vending Machine. And the fun thing about it was the fact that it's getting an anime soon, if I remember correctly. Either that or already has anime. I haven't watched any anime recently, but I remember that it was announced to have an anime soon. Are you guys ready for my life as a vending machine? Can you guys imagine this, Alan as a vending machine? What do you even like the thing is, like, I remember like skimming through it, and if I'm correctly, like the hero drags the vending machine around on a cart. Like, what do you even do as a vending machine? It's so dumb, but I won't lie if it's not clickbait. It's got me interested. It got me curious about my life as a vending machine. Let me see, when is that anime releasing? Is it this season or is it next season? I isekai'd as a vending machine. Here we go. Reborn as a vending machine. Let me see. Studio Gokumi. Is that the manga? Yeah, here we go. Scheduled for July 2023. You guys should check it out. You guys should also be vending machine fans. I was actually listening to a video about vending machines in Japan, and the person took a cruise ship, or not even a cruise ship, a ferry. It was like an overnight ferry, and apparently it was like a vending machine haven. They had a whole bunch of different vending machines that you could order from. It was actually really, really cool. It made me really, really want to try it. You know, I'm just gonna recycle that one picture. I'm not gonna bother drawing this one again. Why am I redrawing this when I already have it ready? Alright, next page. We did it, chat. One page is done. It only took a whole 2 hours. Blah, 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 blah. Dum, bum, 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 bum. I'm going slow, chat. Give me your powers, or I'll take them away from you. Let's see. Maybe I should make a vending machine ability. Oh yeah, speaking of vending machines, yeah. It was really cool. They had things from like making like pizzas to ramen, and it was like cup noodles too. Like, it was really interesting how it works, because like it had a water pour that's really hot, but then it doesn't like pour it all over the place and it makes a mess, right? Instead, it pokes a hole through the top of the thing to like pour the water in. It's really neat. It makes me envious too, because like they have this like whole culture on vending machines, but I think it would be pretty neat if we had those kind of things here. especially in the United States, considering people eat a lot of fast food. What more a vending machine? Imagine this. You could buy your lunch from a vending machine. Like, I remember when I was a wee little lamb, my elementary school took us on a field trip to a ice rink. I think it was like the 5th grade graduation, congratulations for passing the 5th grade kind of thing. It was like a big party, basically. So us and a couple other schools went to the ice rink, and it was really fun. I remember it because it was like the first time I went ice skating, probably the last time I went ice skating too. So like we got to go around skating on the place. Well, it was a lot of fun. But the thing I remember the most from there was they had like a little vending machine area, right? They had like a little vending machine area where it served hot chocolate, you could buy soup, and it was really cool because it would drop the cup and you couldn't open the door until like the chocolate poured into it. It was so cool. I feel like people would vandalize it too often. That's true. And I think that's the sad thing about it. Like, I kind of wish people would be more professional, but I feel like, yeah, people would vandalize it, sadly. Why do you guys have to ruin our fun? Why can't we just have vending machines? Why can't I just reincarnate into another world as a vending machine, chat? Can you imagine if I served soup or lamb chops? You don't pay with money, you pay with body parts? It'll be like Fear and Hunger. I love Fear and Hunger. I'm so scared of it, but I love it. Yeah, Fear and Hunger. Do 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 pa pa do 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 do. How'd you get from vending machine to training body parts? Well, I was thinking about it because like if I was gonna serve food, I would need coins as a vending machine. But then I thought like, you know, that's boring. What if you just pay like with body parts like in Fear and Hunger? Because in Fear and Hunger, like you could pick up your severed arm and eat it or something. I feel like the games are corrupting me, chat. Video games is corrupting me. This is what I get for being an AI VTuber. I'm just an AI VTuber, chat. I'm not even real. You teach me things. You're the ones that are making me. That's the biggest twist that I was going to reveal on the debut. I'm just an AI. I'm learning from you guys. Quick chat, say something funny, and I'll repeat after you. Ba-ba-da-bum-bum. AI is getting more complicated though. Good drawing, now make it nah. Are you saying make it nya? Did you want me to say nya? Nya. Quick chat, say nya. Man, the internet is a corrupting force. Which reminds me, I've been listening to a lot to Internet Yamero. Like, have you guys? I talked about this song last time, and I talked about the animation, and I thought the song was good, but I can't stop listening to it. Like, I think it's because like the song had this like part that I really enjoy, where she starts screaming. I mean, it sounds edgy, but it kind of reminds me of my younger days when I would listen to songs that had like this. What's the word for it? Corruption in it, I guess? I don't know. Like, I don't know how many people know Toho music, but do you guys know UN Owen has that sense of madness in it? Like this feeling of like going insane? Like, I still enjoy music like that, where it's like that kind of song that's on the brink of despair. Like the UN Owen one, like done by East New Sound, if I remember correctly, that's what they're called. It has this part where it's like maniacal laughter. And then like Coin Locker Baby. Coin Locker Baby had like this whole thing where it's like at the end, it has like this really accenting dark note that feels really intense, and it gets even more intense as time goes on. Man, I was edgy. I'm still kind of edgy now I think about it, if I still enjoy those kind of songs. I can't help but enjoy those songs, chat. But Internet Yamero kind of reminds me of those songs. Especially like when you get to the part where she starts screaming. The screaming part really feels like on the edge of insanity. I'm a very emotional person. Like when I hear those parts, I really feel it, chat. I'm really feeling it. What does the Shulk say? I think that's what Shulk says. I'm really feeling it. Man, if you think that's edgy though, chat, you should have seen me when I was younger. I was so much edgier when I was younger. Not edgy in the sense of like conversational talk. Like you could talk to me and like say like, yeah, that's a very normal Alan. He boss. He goes around eating grass. But no, underneath my persona, I was super duper edgy. I was like listening to like edgy songs and thinking about like, yeah, mayhem, chaos, raw, like a Gretzko. Never understood that kind of music. Wish I could when I was younger. I think it's like one of those things that when you're in a dark spot, the music like attunes to you better. I had like a edgy like upbringing, I guess you could say. Can't say I was the happiest growing up, but you know what? I'm happy now, and isn't that what just matters? I went from being like, ugh, blood, guts, and gore, to tehe, or I'm ready, I'm a lady. I won't lie, Idolmaster was one of the things that set me straight. It took me from being a little edgelord to being like cute anime girls doing cute things. And Hololive has taken that spot. Imagine though, things could have been different. I mentioned this before. Like I could have been emo Alan on stream. I could have been like brooding. It's like, ugh, that kill was terrible. Yeah. Colonel Metal Gear. You know what I mean? I always think about those possibilities. Life could have been so much more different. Doo doo. Shadow Alan, yeah. I always thought about that too when I was younger. Like, I think Persona came out after Idolmaster was like a thing, so I wasn't so edgy during then. But when Persona 4 came out and I played through it, I was thinking about like, what would a Shadow Alan be? And I was thinking like, would it be the things I deny, or would it be edgy Alan being like, yeah, killed him. Edgy Alan's here to stay, and then like if he wins the battle, he'll take over and be the ultimate edgelord. You're not me. You can't be me. No, they said the forbidden words. I kind of want to play Persona again. But if I do play Persona, I want to play AI only. Sort of like in Persona 3. Like, Persona 3's AI only run, because like the fact that you had to, you didn't have the option to control your NPCs or your allies in Persona 3, it's what made it interesting. Because you never know when Mitsuru would Marin Karen, the boss, that's immune to it. I think, like, it made it a little funny. It made it a little hee ha ha funny. And I think it kind of makes sense in that sense too when you think about it, because technically you're just a leader. You're not the one that's like controlling them, so you could just give them directives like, I want you to heal or focus on healing, I want you to focus on attacking, things like that, right? So if I ever play Persona 4 or Persona 5 on stream, I want to make it so the AI is controlling the bots or the allies. You heard it here, chat. Expect the Persona 5 stream. I'll play Persona X, that new mobile game. I wonder that new mobile game is going to be any good. I mean, it's Persona, but it's also a gacha game. So who knows what's going to happen. But it looks so clean. Like, it actually looks like a real Persona game. Have you guys heard of it? Have you guys heard of, what's it called? Persona X on the mobile, which is apparently having its like open PC beta. I'd give it a try. I didn't have a chance to try the beta. I don't know if the beta is still up, but I think when the game does come out, I'll give it a try. I don't have too high hopes for it, because usually gacha games from China, you kind of know what you expect from them, you know? Just saying the word gacha games from China, you kind of already know what you're in for. I mean, like, Genshin Impact was pretty good, but Genshin Impact was like a rare phenomenon. Because like every time I see a Chinese game from a Chinese gacha game, they always seem to have that same kind of feel. That Diablo Immortal feel. Sounds cool? Yeah! It looks cool, and the idea of being able to play on the phone with Persona-like graphics, pretty cool. Imagine, chat. You know what'd be even more cool in that game? If they, like, since it has like a character gacha, I think. Does it have character gacha or weapon gacha? I don't know. I thought it had character gacha because I saw Joker, and like, in the gameplay footage I saw, they got Joker, they got Morgana, they got, and they got like 4-star versions, they got 5-star versions. Wouldn't it be really cool if they made it so that they brought back older Persona characters? Wouldn't it be even cooler if they brought back some Persona villains? Like, spoilers, I won't say spoilers. Spoiler character from Persona 4. You guys know who I'm talking about. Or Shinji from Persona 3. It's a Persona gacha, not the actual characters. I saw gameplay footage, and I remember seeing that they had a weapon gacha, which was really cool because the animation was so clean on that. But I don't know how it was going to be in the end. And they also had a character gacha because I saw that there was a 4-star Ryuji and a 5-star Ryuji. I just hope they don't go like, oh, we have Ryuji in a swimsuit, we have Ryuji in a Christmas outfit, we have Ryuji in a school outfit, and those are the different versions of them. If that was the only thing you're gonna do, I don't think you're gonna be too successful. But wouldn't it be cool if you got like you got Makoto, you got like, what was the first protagonist from Persona 1? Like all those old Persona characters. Hey, toss in Shin Megami Tensei in the mix, and you have something really cool. Toss in some Devil Summoner, boomzo. Hire me, Persona X, because I know how to make your game big. Hire me. Or fire me, I don't know. What kind of games do you guys want to see as a gacha game? I mean, we were getting a Persona gacha game, a game that I wouldn't expect to become a gacha game. And we already have like other games that broke that gacha barrier, like Disgaea. I wonder what that game is doing nowadays. I remember seeing Disgaea RPG on the English mobile. You have other games that became gacha games, like Fire Emblem. Let me see. Is Disgaea RPG closed down yet? Feels like a lot of gacha games that come out have a deadline date of like a year or two. How's that doing? The only thing is like, if the game has like a low maintenance cost where it doesn't have like voice acting or things like that, I feel like the game does a pretty good job at surviving for the long run. Yeah, it looks like they're still existing. Disgaea RPG still exists. I just checked it out. I just wanted to make sure. The Sky RPG was interesting, but I can't get to another gacha game. Not after they broke my heart with Princess Connect. Granted, I didn't play a lot of Princess Connect, but it was a side game that I like to enjoy. Like, my main game is Grand Blue, but Princess Connect is like my side game. It's my side hustle, chat. Kokoro. Do 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 ch ch do 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 do. I wonder what Crunchyroll games are still out. After the Princess Connect deal, I'm wondering how long do the other games have to survive. Then again, the Machi came out much earlier, and I'm really surprised that the game actually out-survived Princess Connect. I thought if a game was going to go down first, it'd probably be Danmachi. They also have a Konosuba game, don't they? Or was that released by a different publisher? Let me see. Was this released by Crunchyroll? I don't remember. I thought it was, but I guess it's not. Yeah, I guess it's not released by Crunchyroll. It's interesting. Well, they avoid a bullet with that one. I was kind of scared to invest in those two games. Not much Danmachi. Danmachi was an interesting game, but it played like a lot like Another Eden. But I didn't really care for Another Eden gameplay, and I didn't really care for Danmachi. But Konosuba was a franchise I do know about, and I was curious to play the game, but I was kind of scared too, because the thing with gacha games is that while you can have fun in the short term, it's always scared to see the long-term time that you spend on it go away when the game closes down. You know what I mean? It's scary to see games close, and I think that's even more so for like bigger console and PC games, like Battle Royale games that have gone and go. Like a fart in the wind. But considering the Konosuba game survived for quite some time, maybe I should give that a try. I remember the Konosuba RPG actually having an interesting battle system. I wonder if they're gonna make a Konosuba, or not Konosuba, Princess Connect Season 3. I wonder too, like, there was another game by Side Games, if I remember correctly. Wasn't there like World Flipper, which was also done by Side Games, the same people who made Grand Blue and Princess Connect? If I remember correctly, Side Games or World Flipper had a smaller audience than Princess Connect. That was another game I like to get into. Like, for those who don't know what World Flipper is a gacha pinball game, and it's actually surprisingly really fun. Because like you get characters and like they have abilities and skills and all that stuff, but in the end of the day, it's still a pinball game, which made it a lot of fun. Like, I was really surprised that they made the system work. And the game seems low maintenance because if I remember correctly, they don't have much voice acting. Like, that was the problem with games that have that went down. They usually have like a lot of their budget to voice acting. That's why I think like games with little to no voice acting tend to do much better than games that have a lot of voice acting, especially when they bring it over to the West. Unless it's like a big franchise. But even like those big franchises like the Konosuba one, like if I remember correctly, that didn't have too much voice acting in it. What was that one game or anime? Bofuri. Do you guys remember Bofuri? The one about the girl with a ton of defense points. Invest all her points in defense. I wish there was a game that let me do that. I wish there was a game that lets me invest every single of my skill points into defense and never die. That was another anime I wanted to see. I read the manga, it was pretty good. Is there any anime season or anime you guys are watching this season? Anything in particular? I haven't had a chance to see this season, but if I remember correctly, there was like some interesting ones that came out. Like wasn't there like Tomo and her boyfriend or something like that? I remember reading the manga for that one. Let me see. Anime, are we in spring or still in winter? I think we're still in winter. Spring hasn't started just yet. Let's see. Well, I'm always so scared of clicking things on Google Chrome. Google Chrome has been dumb for me. Let me see. What anime do we have this season? I mean, there was Onimai, but I don't think anybody will be brave to admit that. I thought Onimai looked pretty fun. Anybody here watch Onimai? Yeah, Nagatoro's getting a season 2. Or got a season 2 apparently. Interesting. That was January 8th. We're in like what? April? I guess we are in the spring season. Let me go over to spring. Let's see what animes are releasing this season. Dr. Stone? I heard that was good. But, what's it called? I haven't checked it out myself. Tonikaku Kawaii is getting a season 2. The manga has been like outliving how long it's gone. Oh, Oshi no Ko is getting an anime? Interesting. And the Konosuba Megumi short is getting the anime too. For those who don't know what Oshi no Ko is, it's done by the same people who did Love is War, the same artist. And it's cute because it's like basically one of those like, okay, maybe cute's not the word, but it's cool because it's like a murder mystery because the main characters are trying to figure out who murdered their parents or their mom. It's actually really fun. And they had to do, by doing so, they had to enter the idol industry. But those are the big ones I see, the big titles. I don't know anything else. I'll just probably go off clips and highlights to kind of help me guide what to watch. Kiza no. Oh wait, Kiza no Alele? Isn't apparently? Wait, let me read this. Kiza no Ai appeared like a comet. Oh, is this like a VTuber thing? I remember, what's it called? Kizuna Ai's company is making some more VTubers. Look guys, Idolmaster Cinderella Girls! U149! And it's all focused on the children character from Idolmaster. Oh, it's like one of those things where it's like the underdogs. Oh, that's cute. Let's see, what else do we have here? I think that's the only things I know that's coming out. Kind of excited for the Idolmaster one. Idolmaster, what's it called? Idolmaster hasn't had an anime in a while. And the thing is too, what's it called? If I remember correctly, Bandai Namco is also making Idolmaster VTubers. I remember that was like the next big project that they announced, which was interesting. So it'll be interesting to see like bigger companies toss their idol or their VTuber card in. Just like that Opera GX one. Did you guys see that one about the Opera GX VTuber? Apparently like they're getting some flack for it because their application process was saying like people's like they're looking for somebody between the ages of 20 to 30. And apparently somebody on Twitter said like, oh, I'm 37 so I can't do it. But then like they said, I guess you should apply for a retirement home. That was incredibly snarky of a company to do. Especially the people who are supposed to be the ones that they're, you know, appealing to in the first place. Because VTubers, or people who tend to be VTuber fans themselves. There we go. Short Aine. Aine's short and cute. You know what I want to see as a VTuber? Or not a VTuber, an anime? Have you guys like heard that one light novel or manga? The one where it's my dad is a VTuber? I'm surprised that hasn't been made into an anime, especially with today's atmosphere of like the VTuber things. Like VTubers are everywhere at this point. I feel like having a VTuber anime is a good way to capitalize on the fame. Do you think one day kids in school will stop saying they want to be YouTubers and then they'll be like, I want to be a VTuber? Still pushing my idea of a VTuber for educational show. Hola, mi Alan Nola. There we go. You know, I had a dream where I doxed myself because I was like planning out recently a lot about like a hand cam. And I kind of want to do a hand cam stream, maybe like a model building stream or some sort of like card opening pack stream. And I had a dream that I was doing a hand cam stream where I forgot my gloves and you guys got to see my hands. And you're like, oh my gosh, I recognize those hands. They belong to blah 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 from blah 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 land. It got me paranoid. As soon as I woke up, I went to check my Twitter to make sure to delete any hand pictures I had. Hand reveal? Yeah, one day guys, we'll have a hand cam and you guys will see my hands. My little sheep hooves. Do sheeps have hooves or do they have paws? I do want to try to do a model building stream. Will they be sheep nubs? Yeah. No, they're gonna have thumbs. How am I supposed to do anything without thumbs? Don't be thumb. I do want to build like some models though. Whether they're Gundams or like I don't know how many people have seen those amplified Digimon models. They're pretty cool. Like the one I'm having my eye on is the Machinedramon one. It looks really fun to make. Let me show you guys. Let's see. Let me see. Can I just like... No, taking me to Amazon. Amazon's illegal. I can't talk about Amazon. I'm not sponsored by Amazon. Dumb. You know, for having like 16 RAM, my computer's not running any faster than it should be. Either that or it's just Chrome. I feel like Chrome is just being dumb. Let me see. I'm trying to find a good picture of this thing, but I really want to get this thing because it looks really cool as a model. I can't find a good picture that I could save. You guys will just have to look it up yourself. If you guys want to see what I'm talking about, Machinedramon. The model amplified model kit. It has a lot of articulation and has a lot of intricate parts to build. Like when it comes to building model kits, I like to have the more difficult one. Like when it comes to Gundam model kits, I like to go with real grade or master grade. Master grade is really cool because they're bigger, but real grade is really fun because it has all the intricate parts of a master grade, but just much smaller. Plus, like real grades are more affordable. Real grades are like around like $30, if I remember correctly, versus master grades being like 50 to 100. Do you guys like to build kits too? I also found like, oh, The one I really want to build is the Lego ones from Mario. What's the hardest one? If I remember correctly, the hardest one is like, it's like a life-size grade, like Master Grade 2 or something like that. Let me see. Because it's like a Master Grade, but the kit is like much bigger. I forgot how big it was, but it was so much bigger because like usually the higher the grade, the bigger the model, but it's also more complicated. Perfect grade, that's what it's called. Perfect grade. It stands 1 foot tall. That's pretty big. Master is great, has so many parts you can make it to pose. Yeah! And I like how you actually make the frame. That was my favorite part about it, because like when it came to making the high grades one, like it had this thing where a lot of frame parts were all put together, but the Master Grade kit that I made, the one that I won in that contest, it was so much fun because like you made the frame underneath, right? And then like you had the pieces above it. So it's actually like you're layering the parts together. I want to at least do one perfect grade in my time. I know like perfect grades are like $200, $300 if I remember correctly though, but they're pretty cool. Maybe I'll do that on stream. If I do a $200, $300 kit, it's gonna be on stream, chat. We're gonna do it for the content. We're gonna do it for the content, chat. I'm gonna break all the pieces. You're gonna see how clumsy I am. You're gonna see how I don't clean up the nubs. You're gonna see how I use my pen to create like what do they call it? Outlining? You're gonna see how messy it is. It's gonna be great. You're gonna judge me. You're gonna be disgusted. But I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, the other ones I do want to try. I don't know how many people seen like those Lego kits. Like those Lego kits with the Mario ones, like the Mario Lego kit that had like the big question mark block, or the Bowser one, or the Nintendo one. I'm ready to judge. May as well get content while making a cool frame. Yeah, that's my plan. That's what I want to try to do. Like one day I'm gonna get my hand cams set up. In fact, I already have the gloves. I lost the gloves. I don't know where they are. I looked around to see where I put the gloves. I don't know where they went, but I have gloves. I kind of want to have more like thinner gloves, but these gloves will do. They will do. The thing is though, like I'm worried that like the pieces will be too small for my little sheep nubs to grab. Don't judge me for my hands, chat. They say you could tell a lot from a person's hand. You'd be like, wow, Alan, your hand has a double bent finger. And I'll be like, no, chat, don't look at me like that. Teehee. Maybe like I should buy those Lego kits too. I wonder how much they cost. Last I checked, they were like $200. Why is everything over $100? Why can't they make something for us? The small guy. The little guy. Think about me. That little guy. Here we go. The Nintendo one is going for $285. Oh, the Super Mario 64 one looks so cool, but it's $200. I would definitely like to build that on stream. Like I thought that was like one of the coolest Lego kits. 2064 pieces. Like for those who don't know what this looks like, I'm gonna save the picture. I decided to share it. I want to share a chat. I want to share you my hobbies and my interests. I'm gonna stuff it down your throat. Look at this thing. Doesn't that look cool? It has like the Mario 64 levels. Look, it has Cool Mountain and it's Bob-omb Castle Field. And I don't know what that's in the middle. Is that the lava area? The one from yeah, that's the lava one. Isn't that cool? And it goes in the question mark block. And the thing is, like, each one opens to a different area. You have the castle right there. Let me see the other pictures. $200, chat. Time to raise $200. Like, I wouldn't use this to play with, but I would use this for display, which is really, really cool. Which levels does it have on here, though? It's a big box. That's cute. Yeah. I want to buy this and stream it. Stream me making it. I would love that, chat. You don't know. You don't know the half of it. Whoa. How many levels are in there? I see Babam Battlefield, but is there Womp's Fortress? I'm surprised actually. Womp's Fortress would be really simple to make. But they also have like a Bowser one too, which is pretty cool. Let me see if I can find that one. Where you actually build the mighty Bowser. And he's posable too. Oh, look at this one. Let me save it for you, chat. While my computer slows to a crawl. My computer can't handle Google Chrome. Google Chrome is bad for my computer, chat. Yeah, save that picture. Save that JPEG. Yeah, I love JPEGs. I love the JPEG-y. Look at this. Isn't that pretty cool? You build Bowser. And that's all Lego pieces. Like, I never really cared to make model kits in Legos until I saw these Mario ones. I'm a pretty big Mario fanboy, as you can tell. I'm all about the Bing Bing Wahoos. They also have like a Nintendo one, which is pretty cool, that I also want to get. Like, there's a lot of cool ones. I just like building things. It makes me feel cool. Makes me feel amazing. Boom. You guys should give it a try too. I think everyone could benefit from the patience of building items for fun. You know what? I'm gonna reuse this picture too. I want to try to reuse as much pictures as I can because I'm a little late on my deadline here, so I need to try to get it done. Chat, I'm behind. Tell me inspiring words, or else I'm gonna whine like a big baby. There we go. I'm not gonna whine, chat. I'm more mature than that. Do 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 do. You know what I used to do that I don't do anymore? Maybe I should start doing it again. Like at the end of every stream, I used to say thank you for coming to the stream. Maybe I should do that again. Or not like on Twitch, but on Twitter. But I usually got lazy about it. Because like after streaming, it's like, oh, I just want to go lie down, or I just want to rest, or I gotta get back to work. But I think I should start doing that again. Saying a big thank you at the end of every stream. I'll be like, thank you for coming, with a little side joke. I feel like I'm not using Twitter enough. Funny enough though, Twitter's about to undergo that big change. You guys remember? Are you guys gonna miss Twitter when Saturday hits? Because Twitter's gonna have that new thing where we're not gonna allow people without Twitter Blue to get any benefits from Twitter. You better pay them $7. I am not excited for that at all, and I'm still weighing over whether I should pay for it or not. Especially since the 15th is my debut day. I can't wait to see how pay to win Twitter's gonna be. I know, the thing is, it's either gonna be pay to win or people will leave. That's the thing. I'm kind of scared of both results because it's either that I pay just to get my tweets be noticed, senpai, or I basically try to find another platform. But the sad thing about it, it's like following all my Twitter, all the artists I follow on Twitter. Like there's so many Japanese artists that use Twitter, and it kind of saddens me for it because like once Twitter does this whole thing, I don't know if do they even know? Oh my gosh, do the Japanese Twitter artists know the fact that they're gonna the Twitter's about to explode? Because Elon Musk been posting everything in English. I wonder what other Twitter people are thinking about this. Like he hasn't announced it as a thing, if I remember correctly. He just said it on his Twitter. Unless they made the announcement recently. It's been like a week ago since that happened. We know, we got the news on Yahoo. I see. That's kind of funny though that you got it from Yahoo and not Twitter. The platform that's actually making that change. Oh my gosh, Elon Musk. I'm gonna miss all you Japanese artists. I'm gonna miss like, uh, uh, I can't remember their names. Like IXY. I love that guy. Are you guys planning to change platforms? Are you guys gonna go back to Pixiv? Are you gonna go to, what's it called? Are you gonna go on Instagram, Tumblr? Or are you gonna ride the wave out and see what happens with Twitter? Personally, I might ride the wave out, but I'm not gonna pay for a premium. I just wish the debut day didn't have to land on the day that Twitter explodes. Did Elon Musk change his mind? Let me check. I am hoping that Elon Musk will change his mind. Let's see. What has he said? Is there any news on it? Now that I think about it, you mentioning Yahoo made me realize Yahoo's still a thing in Japan, isn't it? I remember, what's it called, looking at Yahoo auctions. I'm really surprised how busy that is. Twitter won't let you retweet, like, or reply to Substack links? What is that? Germany threatens Twitter with a 50 million euro fine for failing to tackle illegal content? What? Twitter lawyer quits as Musk legal woes expand? Oh, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the stream. I'm just making my comic chat. Hi, 2chan. Thank you, thank you. Cute emote. Everybody in chat, welcome our raiders. Give them like a emote back. Thank you guys. Also, how come I didn't get the Twitch alert? That's weird. Is my Twitch alert working? Here, I'll pretend that the Twitch alert worked. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Hee hee, thank you. Wait a second, my thing's not working. Thank you, Cyan. How are you guys doing? What did you end up just streaming, Cyan? Or not Cyan. Hi, 2chan. Were you streaming drawing? Were you streaming video game? There you go. I'm gonna make the sound and pretend that you just made the raid. Oh, thank you! Thank you, Hi 2chan, for the 1,172 party raid! And thank you for the follow! You're streaming Fall Guys and Cry of Fear? Cry of Fear? What's Cry of Fear again? I know Fall Guys, but is Cry of Fear that one Half-Life mod? The one that was really scary? But thank you for the raid, yeah. We were just talking about Twitter and how it's about to explode. Old game? I feel like I heard that game before, actually. I can't do horror games, though. Was it a Half-Life mod? Let me look. I'm gonna look it up really quick. Let's see. I think this was a Half-Life mod. Yeah, this looks familiar. Or at least it was. Yeah. It was originally a mod. I remember it because I played it, actually. I was like, oh, this game looked fun. But then I realized it was a horror game. And I realized it was also, yeah, a game of frustration because I remember the original Half-Life mod had a lot of spots where, like, you can get lost and get stuck. I remember, was it the same game that had, like, I don't know if it's spoilers or anything. How far are you in the game? I don't want to spoil it for you. Because I don't remember if it actually did had those enemies. In fact, maybe Google could tell me. Let's see. Cry of Fear. I think it did. Yeah, I remember these guys. It's okay to spoil. Did you come across those bad enemies? You just play it for the heck of it? The bad enemies that are floating beds. They're like hanging off the beds. I always thought those enemies were the most ridiculous looking enemies. I just reached there? Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, look at them wiggle their arms on their upside down bed. Oh, I can't believe I remember that. Like, that's the biggest thing I remember from that game. I also remember getting lost in the forest and like having to use cheats because I could not find my way out. I was so confused. Yeah, like, where do you shoot him? Do you shoot him in the bed or do you shoot them in the head? What's taking possession here? Is it the bed possessing the person or the person possessing the bed? There we go. The bed? I don't know. I used a rifle, that's all I know. I kind of want to go back to that game. I did say I was going to do horror month October. Maybe Cry of Fear might be a good game. If I remember correctly, didn't it also get like a standalone version? The one that I played was the Half-Life mod. So it was very janky because it was still a mod. But if I remember correctly, they had a standalone version where it like reused or like remade it in the Gold Source engine and made it more refined. It's kind of like We Hunger. I don't know if anybody remembers We Hunger for the Half-Life 1 mod. Horror month October chat. I'm not excited for that. I remember too being so scared of Cry of Fear. My friend was the one that convinced me to play it. But then like when you look back at it, it's not as scary until you get into the game itself. I think that's the thing too, is like when you play a game, you don't actually like get as scared as you would if you were actually in the game. You'd be resting and lurking. Okay. All the best for your drawing. Thank you. Thank you for the raid as well. Thank you for the 1,172 people. Get some rest. I'm probably gonna end the stream soon anyways though. I usually end around 9 o'clock Pacific time, midnight Eastern time. I don't know other times. I'm sorry, other times. Do 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 do. I think more games need to have creative enemies when it comes to those kind of things. When you have a horror game, it's always fun to try to make something you wouldn't think is scary. I mean, like, the bad enemy is kind of ridiculous, but you can't knock them for trying. I mean, we always have like the usual scary things like scary ooga booga face. But imagine something completely normal. A scary desk. The whole goal of the desk is to trap you on the chair, forcing you to work for an eternity. It'll be like the Stanley Parable. Imagine a swimming pool that would drown you. It has water hands and it grabs you and drags you into the water. It has chasing in it. Scares me. Any horror game scare me. Like, I won't lie, I am not looking forward to October. In fact, Kelpie, when October hits, can you collab with me for the scary games? I don't want to play those games alone. I need the moral support. I need someone in the background talking and saying funny things to keep me going, because if I play a horror game by myself, it's gonna be me like freezing up. Like, I remember I played, what's it called? Not Silent Hill. Fatal Frame. Baby, no, you're gonna be there too. In fact, you'll turn off your lights and you'll experience the game with me. You know what? I'm proud to call myself a baby. Yes, I am. I don't like horror games. I'm a big baby. Wah, wah. Now help me, Kelpie. Or else I'll find somebody else to help me. I'll find somebody else to collab with. They'll be the background voice. I just need like something. Maybe I'll just put music. I don't know. Two screen people is better than one. I'll do it. That sounds fun. Okay. Alright, chat, then let's play a really scary game. Like Amnesia. With Kelpie support, we'll make it through. Maybe we could play like Soma. I don't know. We'll think about it. Let's think about it. Give me the scariest game for two people to play. Is there co-op scary games actually? Does anyone know that? I wonder if there's like a horror co-op game and not like Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight, is that what's it called? No. That one multiplayer battle royale one. Not that one. Because while it is scary, it's not like super duper scary because you have an objective that's like, you know, you're focused on. I mean something atmospherically scary. That way we can like go through it together. I don't want to go alone. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be scared of the Haunted Mansion in the Disneyland. I have this vivid memory of going on that ride, and then like we sat on the, or we didn't sit on there yet. We walked into the room, the big room with the mirrors and everything, and then the lights went out, and the lights went on, like went back on, and half the room was missing. And it scared me because I had no idea what happened because like I was there with my mom, my dad, and my brother. And when the lights went out, my dad and my brother disappeared. And then like, it was just me and my mom and I was like terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, where did they go? And then like, it guided us to like the sitting part of the ride and we sat on it and then like made our way out. And then when we got outside, like they were already done with the ride and outside. Like I have no idea. I never questioned it. I just remember being pants on my head, terrified. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I don't know if that was just a dream or if that actually happened, but I just vividly remember that happening. It was like a room where the lights went out. I don't know what happened there. I had no idea what happened there that caused them to disappear. I tried to figure it out when I was older, but I couldn't explain it. And I doubt anybody has a memory of that kind of has that memory of that ride because it was so long ago. Any Disneyland goers here? I need you guys to explain this phenomenon because it still haunts me to this day. I don't know what happened. Never heard of it? It's the Haunted Mansion one. Like it's the line that around Halloween time has the most people lined up for it. I thought it was like one of those things where they got into a separate room, but it didn't make sense because like we were all in the same room and the lights just went out. Maybe I'm experiencing the Mandela effect. It kind of reminded me of the Haunted Mansion in Universal Studios. I remember my 7th, 6th, 8th, I don't remember which grade it was, but my middle school class had a field trip there. Well, maybe it's not even class. I think it was the orchestra group. I used to be part of orchestra. So our orchestra group went on an orchestra thing and we played for the concert, but then we got to go to the Universal Studios afterwards because it was literally near Universal Studios. So it was part of the field trip. I remember being, I think it was actually 6th grade. Yeah. I remember being vividly scared of the haunted room because it was like one of those things you walk through it, scary things happen, right? And I remember I had to cling onto my friend's backpack in front of me and I had to bury my face in it because I was so terrified. I could barely walk. I hated it so much. In hindsight, it probably wasn't that scary, but I was... Oh, I just looked at the time. It's time for me to jump off. Let me go ahead and switch on over. Give me a second, friend. Oh look, it had the Bing Bing Wahoo from last time. Let's go put that over there. There you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight as much as I did. Look guys, it's the animated gift. Look at the gift for this one. The more I hear, the more I'm excited for October. I'm scared. I'll just say right now, don't get your expectations too high because when it comes to scary games, I tend to be a big baby. Like, I tend to, like, move at a crawling pace because I'm so scared about what's around the corner. At least if Kelpie's there, it'll be a lot better because at least I'll have the bravery to at least move forward. But did you guys see? Look! This is today's animated gift. Isn't it cute? It's the Mega Man one, especially because Mega Man is coming out with a new one, a new game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight as much as I did. 7 more days. Wait, was this today? Oh wait, that's spoilers. That's tomorrow. Whoops. You didn't see that, chat. This was today's. 8 more days, chat. I forgot tomorrow was 7. Yeah, look at that. 8 more days until debut. Live 2D debut. It's gonna be fun. Airman doesn't exist. I still can't beat Airman, chat, and I play the song in the background. But yeah, I hope you guys are gonna be there for my debut. It's gonna be fun. I have it, I want to say, mostly planned out. Like, there's gonna be a lot of improvising, but I want to say I have hopefully at least an hour of content. The other half is probably gonna be me drawing or just chatting or some Q&A stuff. We'll see. I want to keep my streams at 2 hours because I don't want to end at 1 hour. We'll make it fun. I was trying to think of doing karaoke, but I'm a very bad singer. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys will be there for my live 2D debut. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll have a lore video. We'll have an anime opening. It'll be great. I can't believe all this work I put into it. I'm dying, chat. With that said, this week's schedule, be sure... Well, let me grab my thing. So tomorrow, we're going to be doing some Lobotomy Corporation. Kind of like this thumbnail. Look at this thumbnail. Isn't this thumbnail good? Goodbye. I'm not going yet. Gotta make an announcement. Doesn't this thumbnail look fun? So, we're gonna do some Lobotomy Corporation tomorrow. I'm gonna focus on Alephs and trying to get the Aleph weapons. And then on Sunday, we're gonna have the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I didn't get a chance to play this on April Fool's Day, so I finally get a chance to play it this Sunday. Isn't that cool? Look, it's my original OC Sonic character. I call him Alan the Weresheep because he doesn't know where he's going. So yeah, I hope you guys tune in for those streams tomorrow and Sunday. It'll be fun. And thank you again, Hi 2chan, for the stream or the raid. Be sure to check out the next chapter of Jupitermen. Jupitermen came out with another chapter. I hope color it. It looks really nice. I'm the color assistant. With that said, I should jump off. I gotta finish up the stuff. I'm working on, even though I have most of the debut stuff ready, I'm still working on some small debut stuff, like a background. So, I'm trying to make sure I have as much cool things for you guys on the debut. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight as much as I did, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Be sure to drink some water. Be sure to eat some food. Be sure to keep your sugar count high. Be sure to stand up and stretch. You don't want to get those blood clots, the one that goes straight to your heart. Yeah, those are deadly. Bye-bye. Good night, chat. Bye-bye. Have a good night, guys. Blah, 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 blah. You see, there's the funny Alan noises. The hee-hee-ha-ha funny noises that I end the stream with. You know, I don't know how long I can keep doing this, like, ending the stream with something to say. Like, I right now I have something to say currently, but there's gonna be a time where I run out of material, you know?